Hello, my name is Michelle Jenkins, and I am here to give you a brief overview on how to use Pinterest as an educator. If you're wondering what is Pinterest, Pinterest very simply is a place to organize and share things that you love. Pinterest for teachers is a way to collect ideas for lesson planning, for classroom management. It's a place to save all of your favorite resources in one location. It's a place to plan projects. It can be whatever you want it to be. But overall, Pinterest is virtual bulletin board collections. You make the bulletin boards, you categorize them, you pin the specific items to the boards that they fall under. So once you create an account on Pinterest.com, you will log in, and Pinterest immediately takes you to a homepage similar to a mini feed on Facebook where you see in live time what people that you follow are pinning. But let's look at my Pinterest page, because today I want to show you as an educator how can I use Pinterest to create boards, to pin items, and to share ideas. So as I mentioned earlier, Pinterest is a virtual bulletin board collection. Here are my virtual bulletin boards that I've created based on my interests and my needs as an educator. I advise you to make boards very specific. This one I've titled English Teacher. That's not very specific. How can I get more specific? Well, I have a board here on writing and rhetoric. So it's just a way to keep it more organized for you whenever you go back to look for these pins that you want to visit. What is a pin? It's an image that when you click on it, it takes you to the original source where it came from. So here's a pin on my English teacher board, and it says 100 words every high school graduate should know. Where did this come from? I want to know. Well, when you click on it, it takes you to the place where it came from, which looks to be a blog of somebody. So Pinterest, that's exactly what it is. It's kind of like a favorites list on your computer, except it's visual. So you can organize it better and you can see specifically what was it on that website that I liked so much. So going back to my profile and pins, how do I make a board? It's very user-friendly. You go over here to create a board, and let's say we're interested in classroom management. I've titled my board. I could write a description here. I will categorize it as education, and I will hit create. Well, now it's time to add pins about classroom management that I find useful, that I want to use in the future as a teacher. Well, what does Pinterest already have on classroom management? You can look and see their categories. Education is one of them. However, we're not going to be so general. Since we know what we're looking for, let's just search for it in the search menu. So classroom management, and up comes all of the pins on classroom management. This goes on and on and on and on. But let's just say that we like this pin right here. So I'm going to click on it, and I am going to pin it. Now it is saved on my board. Which board? Well, you have to decide. Classroom management is where it fits in. And here's where you can add a description. What is it about that pin that you liked? That can be helpful for you when you go back to visit it. You hit pin it, and now it is on your classroom management board. Where did this pin come from? Well, I didn't upload this pin. I didn't find this pin on the internet. It was already on Pinterest. It came from the board called Class Ideas by somebody named M. So let's just say that we're interested in her board, Class Ideas. We think there might be more on there that we want to look at. Let's click on Class Ideas, and we're on the board, Class Ideas by this person named M, and let's just say I think this person's interesting. They pin similar things that I want to pin, so I want to follow this board. You just click follow, and now when you go back to your profile and pins, click over here on following boards. Here's that board that I just followed that I thought was interesting. So now anytime this person pins something, it will show up on your home feed. That's how you can use Pinterest in a social way. You can follow people, you can follow all of their boards, you can follow specific boards, and from now on it will always come up on your mini feed what they are pinning. So how do you upload a pin? How do you pin something that's not already existing on Pinterest? There are two ways to do it. I showed you how to search for pins that already exist, but now how can I upload a pin? You can upload a pin from your computer, which is very simple. You just choose an image or whatever it is on your computer you want to be on Pinterest. Keep in mind it will be public. Or you can pin something from a website. The easiest way to pin from a website is to install the Pin It button, which I have right here in the top left-hand corner, onto your browser. The directions for installing the Pin It button I have included on the supplemental document that is about Pinterest that you can find. So it's very easy, but let's assume that you already have it. I've been searching the web recently about 20% time in education. It's something I would like to do one day in my own classroom. So let's say I just found this website and I want this on Pinterest. I don't even need to be logged into Pinterest to pin this 20% time article to my Pinterest board. All I have to do is go up here to the Pin It button, and then I will click an image from this webpage that best represents it. So I'm just going to click this one and hit Pin It. After you hit Pin It, this pops up and it asks you, where do you want to pin it? Well, for me, this would probably belong on my technology board. So I will then add it to the technology board, and I will give a description about why was I drawn to this article. That's just helpful for me. You can leave what they already have there, or you can make it more specific. And then I hit Pin It. It is now on my Pinterest page. Let's see it now. So it takes us back into Pinterest, and it's on my technology board from now on. So Pinterest is very easy to use. You can add anything to Pinterest that you like. Remember, it's basically your favorites list, but just in a way that is more aesthetically pleasing. You can see everything. I pin everything from actual ideas that I want to use to teach to silly, funny quotes about teaching that keep me entertained and give me the little boost I need on a rough day. So you can really do anything you want with Pinterest. It is very user-friendly, so as you go, you will learn very easily. But the last thing I want to show you is the social element to Pinterest. I already gave you the idea of the home feed and how it's similar to Facebook, but there's more that you can do with Pinterest. You can send pins to people. Let's say I want to send this pin about 20% time to my friend. I'm going to hit send, and I would add in an email address here of the person I want to send it to. I can share it on, I can share it on Facebook if I want. There's a share button for Facebook. It will upload to your Facebook if you want. You don't have to have it linked to your Facebook. But Pinterest is very social. Now, Pinterest even has a messaging center where you can send messages to people. So you can say, hey, check out this pin, or you can share a board that you have with them. So let's just go back to my boards and say that I have this technology board right here, and I think that my friend Janine Perriton would think this board is just fabulous. So I want to send her the entire board, and I'm going to put J. Perriton, put in her email, and send the board off to Janine, and then she can look at it. So it's a way to share resources too with your colleagues and your friends. So this is a brief overview. Again, it's very user-friendly. I have more direction and terminology on the handout that I've created on Pinterest, but as you use it, you will find that it's very easy to use and very helpful. Keep in mind, it's also very addicting, so make sure that you have time for this new hobby. But it's really a teacher's dream because we're planners, we're organizers, and this is a place to keep it all together. You can even reflect on what you've done, and you can make a board called Projects That I've Done, and you can add comments to those pins about what worked and what didn't, completed projects. Teachers should reflect, so it's a way to even do that. So if you have any more questions on how to use Pinterest as an educator, please let me know. You can reach me on Twitter, you can email me, you can come visit me in the high school in room 312. I'd be more than happy to help you with Pinterest, as I have spent a lot of time on it both personally and for professional purposes, and I feel confident in my use of it to get you started and to help you realize that this is a very helpful resource. It's also a lot of fun. Hope to see you on there. Take care.